Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with, I guess it's probably going to turn out to be a two-parter video for December vinyl finds. Not that I found hundreds of albums or anything, I didn't quite get that lucky, but like 30 or 40 albums over a couple of three different places. Salvation Army, which I never usually do because they never have anything, but I kind of got lucky. I guess, for the lack of a better term. And a lady that I go to church with, our lovely little organist June, comes up to me the other week and says, "Do you still collect records, Sonny?" Kind of not quite like that, but she gave me some albums, and some of them are okay. Well, I mean, they're from June, so I appreciate them. That's the way I look at it. Some of them are actually kind of interesting, really into that type of stuff. And got a surprise chance to go to really the only record store that I frequent at all in Maine, because we don't have hardly any used record stores. A place in Waterville, Maine, called the Record Connection, and got some interesting stuff there. Let's jump right into it. First stuff is vinyl stuff I found at the Salvation Army, all for $1. First one is an Elvis LP. This one is recorded live on stage in Memphis. It's an original pressing. I believe it's an original pressing as well. This one was a really interesting find. Nancy Sinatra. This album, it's called Sugar, came out in 1967, got trashed. If you look on AllMusic, the AllMusic guide, they are really like, oh, this is a terrible album. She does a lot of standards, and there's nothing worth this. Well, I don't mind it, because I don't mind songs like Sweet Georgia Brown, stuff like that. Sugartown's a great song too. The great thing about this is I paid $1 for this, and it is the original mono. And this sucker is in great shape. An original mono pressing of this album for $1. I was at this Record Connection place and saw a stereo copy of this. Not even sure if it was an original pressing, for $5. So I'm not going to complain. Next one, 1971, Sonny and Cher live. And some of this stuff is cheesy, but I do enjoy it. Great little gatefold with them in there singing. Original pressing, I believe, like I said, 1971 for this one. Okay. A Melissa Manchester album, who's, pop of the, pop music from the 60s, from the 70s and 80s, but this is one of her earlier albums on Arista. It's a good record, actually, and in good shape for $1. I think this is 75-ish or so, 76. Okay. Samantha Sang. Her big hit was Emotions, which ended up on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. I'm not sure if this album came out before Saturday Night Fever, but it does have the song Emotions on it. Cover for $1. The bass player of this band just passed away last week, as a matter of fact. The bass player for the band, Iron Butterfly. This was a live album, Iron Butterfly Live. Kind of a cool find, in decent shape. I won't say mint, but in decent shape. Atco. A couple of albums by Leo Sayer. I'm not going to pay a lot for this guy. I like his music, but I'm not going to pay a lot for his music. But his first album, gatefold cover, kind of a freaky inner cover, actually. Freaky back cover as well. The great thing about both of these albums is they're both on the Chrysalis label, which I remember all of his early albums being on Warner Brothers. So I'm not sure. I haven't looked to see if these are imports from Canada. We are so close to Canada that it's entirely possible that these might be Canadian pressing. Just a Boy, I believe, was this album. Yeah, and this was the album that brought us his first big hit, Long Tall Glasses. Great song. This is a cool find right here. Nielsen, Son of Schmielsen, a warped album from Henry Nielsen. And the great thing about this is it's an awesome shape, and it even comes, I'm not going to open it, but it also comes with a poster slash lyric sheet. So a really good find, original pressing for that one. This is an interesting record here. Scott Joplin. Scott Joplin, anybody who doesn't know who Scott Joplin was, turn of the century pianist, last century, never recorded anything, but his music survived through piano rolls and other people covered his stuff. I love the cover of this. It was my first draw was, wow, what a really cool psychedelic cover. But it's a great record of Scott Joplin music anyway. All right, this is getting into the stuff now that my friend June gave me. A Chris Christopherson album, in great shape. Me and Bobby McGee, of course, he wrote that song. Janis Joplin posthumously took it to #1 in '71. But a really great record from him. Tom T. Hall. I don't know if I would have bought this, but I checked it out. It's really quite cool. Early 70s, Tom T. Hall. Late 60s, early 70s. The next ones, I'm just going to pull them really quickly. 3, 4. These are all Herb Alpert albums. I've got pretty much all of these. I'm just going to show you. These may end up being upgrades. I don't know for sure. Most of my Herb Alpert stuff is in great shape. This was the one that I didn't have, and this is the one that's probably in the worst shape, album-wise. Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass, #2, second record. But this does have a scratch on one of the sides. It affects play as far as it being audible. It doesn't skip, but the cover's in great shape. Looking for another, probably better pressing of that, though. But thank you anyway, June. These other ones are just, I've got these already, but again, like I said, maybe upgrades, may not be. Kind of give away my age for this next one. This was the album that was #1 on the date that I was born. I want to go look at that. What Now, My Love was the album from Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass. This, I'm not really super big country fan, but this was in the pile. Why not? Statler Brothers, Flowers on the Wall. This is the greatest hits collection of theirs. I don't think it's even an original press. Oh, it's on 70s Mercury pressing. You can see that 70s Mercury. It needs to be cleaned for sure. You guys who are not from Maine or even from Lewiston, Maine, won't get this one, but all of you who grew up in Lewiston know who Louis Philippe is, huh? Yeah, and the Louis Philippe Christmas album on EAB Records, which is a local record company. It was a local record company in Maine. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how long this one's running, and we'll go into part 2 of December Vinyl Finds. Until next time, peace and love.